Hi, I'm Charlie. Glad you think of my new haircut. Comment below. My my girl told me. Hashtag Sean from Rudy's in Silver Lake. Okay. Anyway, hey everybody, how you doing? Sorry we're going live a day late. Yesterday was filled with rock and roll and things, so I couldn't get going. I got radio shows and music festivals and a bunch of other stuff, but we're gonna get into all the things today. So we said yesterday, hi Jack, hi David, hi Tino, hey everybody, and let me know also, comment if also let me know if this time works better than Saturdays, because it's actually turning out better for me Sunday mornings than Saturdays. But again, let me know. Also, we're going to cover all of this stuff here. Yeah. Transitioning to CBO, third-party platforms, and IG automation, as well as covering some homework. So anyway, last week's homework I was a bit out of it too. I was just getting this tattoo done. It's definitely dried up since then and healed. Anyway, definitely it was a bit out of it, but to cover things again, we went over the Scrum doc and really how to track multiple platforms, and we're going to kind of build on that a little bit today with some third-party automations, with some third-party platform stuff. But to get right off of it, one of the things I wanted to show you all today is for our homework is Instagram automation. Not only how to automate your posting to Instagram, which is really easy. There's a lot of great tools, Later, Buffer, a lot of those really great pieces, but also how to use Instagram for arbitrage and conquesting to really go after and specifically target your competitors, let them do all the work for you to grab customers and you steal them, right? Like one of the great analogies that I like to use is McDonald's is the only fast food restaurant that researches locations. Everybody else just puts them across the street from McDonald's. And one of the things I wanted to do, I got some goodies for y'all. The first person in the United States, sadly, because shipping's a son of a bitch, that does their homework this week gets some free pop socket here. We've got a Facebook like button. I got this from my reps, right? So this is a wood like button. I don't know if you can get that in the light. Boom. There we go. We got an Instagram one. All right. And we got a metal one. So the first person to do their homework this week and send it on in not only gets a free ebook, not only gets any of the resources from me and lets me check their thing out, but also gets a free gift from me, and I'll send it out to you. So check that out. Also, last thing I wanted to cover this week is we have a special end of the month sale on the Slack room. So if you're in the what's going on here? If you're in the Patreon and you want to get even more access, definitely, and you hear Robert talk about it, you hear Skylar talk about it, you hear a lot of people talk about it, the Slack. If you're not in the Slack, you should really check it out. I know I've opened it back up. There's 2 more slots for 50% off available right now until the end of the month. If you get into there, no matter where in the world you are, I'll send you one of these because, well, you paid for it in spades. But check that out. So definitely would love to see you there. There's a lot more resources. That's where you can send me your screenshots. We can chat about things. We can get into the real nitty gritty, and I can share a lot more resources with you there as well. And we've been having a lot of really fun conversations in the Slack room. For instance, just over the last few days, we've been going over decks from multiple conferences. We've been going over a lot of third-party platforms. We've been going over how people are using Pinterest. We've been going over Amazon. We've been going over people have been sharing their, let's see if that'll work, people sharing their Scrum docs with us and me helping them out, getting it done. We've been going over Facebook polls. We've been going over Instagram new technology. We've been going over how to do daily evaluations. We've been going over new tools inside of Instagram that we're actually going to talk about today, but you could have known about it a week and a half ago, about how to direct message people on Instagram from your laptop so you can run multiple accounts and do automation from there. Let's see, there's also people going in and posting in their ad accounts and what they're doing right and wrong, right? We're going over the ebook so people can get the real direct interpretation of how to address this specific lesson for them. So we're getting a lot of really, really good things, and that's just inside the general room. We also have rooms on bucket-based CBO. We got rooms from decks from conferences, leaks from reps from not just mine, but from everybody's reps, which is great. There's a whole Facebook Messenger room. There's one room with just people bragging about their wins and the results and really helping out. There's testing methodologies as well as vendor status updates. So if Shopify goes down for half an hour, you're going to know about it, right? Hi, Julia. If WooCommerce has an issue taking Apple Pay for 2 days, you're going to know about it right away so that you don't have to go and try to scramble and see why is your store going down, right? And then there's a lot of direct message things, and we've got some really great experts. Also Facebook, we've got some drop shipping experts in there. And we got a really, really great Amazon guy or two in there too. So it's really awesome. I highly recommend it. And again, the first person to do their homework this week gets their pick of the pop sockets, right? Because I can only use so many on my phone. Plus, I'm a Steelers fan, so there you go. I had these lying around. I was like, what can I use them for? Let's give them to you guys. And then also next person to get into the Slack. We've got 2 open. It's for 50% off to the end of the month. So get in there and check that out. Okay, so getting into Instagram automation. Your homework this week is we're going to go heavily over a tool that Facebook won't even let me write the URL inside of Facebook. We're going to go over that right now. And then again, we're going to cover transitions into CEO and third-party platforms, as well as a couple other pieces. So I'm going to open up my phone so you guys can see it. This is a tool that I use. It's called InstaLex. Now, we talked about it a few times. I can't ever type it in here. But this one's really great. And what InstaLex does, more than anything, is InstaLex. Well, it's unfair advantage. Hey, hi, Oliver. How you doing, buddy? InstaLex allows you to do a couple really big pieces. So I'm going to show you my band's Instagram account because, like I said, I do the rock and roll thing. It's really hard. This is some shameless self-promotion for my band, but whatever. It allows you to, one, do the like and comment and view stories and follow and unfollow thing that we're all kind of familiar with, but it does it the best way. Nobody, in my experience, does it better than this, and I've been doing this for 5 fucking years, right? I used to do this to the point on my own phone to where Instagram kept sending me emails saying that I had to remove automation or remove software because it wasn't allowed at the time because the API wasn't open. And I had to keep telling them, I'm not doing that. It's just me doing that. I knew this space at a red light where I could just like swipe, boom, follow. And I knew that my API restriction was 60 accounts an hour. So I could sit at a red light or sit on the John, whatever, every 2 hours, and I could bang out 120 because the counter started over. It was a whole thing. Anyway, the end result was I was actually banned from using Instagram on an Apple device that was on AT&T. I had to change carriers to T-Mobile, switch my device to an Android, and start a brand new account. I mean, it was ridiculous. So I was banned from Instagram basically for a while. And these are the kinds of the ways that the things that I was using. These are the kinds of things that I was using. The kind of tools that the kind of behavior that I was doing, and now they're automated in ways with API access, so they're safe. One of the other things is a lot of these Instagram tools, and there's a bunch of them. This is the only one that I know personally that I've used for over 3.5 years now that has never once gotten an account banned, has never once gotten an account put on restriction, and has never once come back with any fishy billing stuff, right? So almost every other tool out there, regardless of where they are or how reputable and anything else, they've almost always gotten accounts banned. This one has an API restriction built into it, so it knows when it's pushing up against that wall. They've almost always gotten restrictions put on accounts, so you can't take personal actions on your phone, yada yada yada. And there's almost always been some like super fishy, like, oh, I got an extra $20 attached to my account. Plus this one, it's $15 a month. Most of the other ones that I've seen are $40 to $50 to $100 a month. And what I suggest for you, super entrepreneurial folks, get this on your phone, figure it out. Sell your services for $200 a month. I sell my services from these to people for hundreds of dollars a month. And all I do is I set up the account and I look at it every now and again. and I optimize it, right? But you very easily right now, if you want to make an extra $1,000 this month, get this app on your phone and then find 5 people to charge $200 to. And that will easily pay for you to join the Slack channel and learn 10 other ways of making a shit ton of money, automating the fuck out of stuff and doing very little work, plus making your own store do better, right? That's what we're all about. So anyway, this is a really real life hack. I've got 3 other accounts in here that are people paying me several $100s. One of them's paying me $2,000 a month for my combination of ManyChat and Instalex. And to be fair, I'm making them way more than that in profit margins. So it works for him, right? Although he writes me personal checks and occasionally they get lost in the mail. What is going on here? Anyway, new haircut. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, let's get through this. Oliver, any way better than InstaZood? Honestly, I've heard mixed things about InstaZood. Some people really trust it. Some people don't. All I know is that this is one that I've had on my personal account that I've run businesses off of, that I've paid my rent from for like over 3 or 4 years. Hey, Brecky, we're going to cover right now this tool called Instalex. And so this is an automation device for Instagram that you can use, 1, to do arbitrage in your own business, and 2, start a business so you can use services for other people so you can pay your rent from your phone for doing fuck all other than being smart. All right, so first thing inside of Instalex, and this is what it looks like, Instalex, right? And it's instalex.pro. Now, when you try to pay on it, you have to go through some Russian thing, through PayPal. It looks a little weird. Hey, Derek. Hi, Derek. How are you, man? I didn't realize you were in this room. Stick around. Derek's my buddy from this side. Anyway, check it out. It will be legit. So take a look through it. It looks a little fishy, but trust me, I've been paying them hundreds of dollars. I paid them probably thousands of dollars the last few years from different accounts. So anyway, this is my band's account on here, and I'm not gonna show you other accounts because, well, they're not. It's private business, right? So Instalex.pro. Let's see if I can get this thing to. No. Okay. Anyway, Instalex.pro. Now, it's got several functions. The first thing is it does what they call promotion. Now, promotion is likes, comments, follows, story views, and that can be targeted towards. No worry, Brecky. That's comment. That's you can target both hashtags and accounts. So it gives you. Let's see if we can do this. It might white out. Oh. Basically, it gives you this dashboard. Come on. There we go. So it gives you this dashboard, and inside the dashboard, it tells you how many likes, comments, follows, story views, and skips. And you can turn these on or off. Now, these are based around different accounts. So I've got these targeting different bands, different models that I'm working with, different promo shops, different promoters. But what you can see here for me is, for instance, let's just take this photography guy, right? Now in here, this thing went in and liked 2,700 things. It commented 465 times. It followed 1,600 people and viewed several hundred stories. Now, based on my restrictions, it also skipped 8,300 accounts that I deemed were not valuable to me. And I got 5,100 new followers from this thing, which basically means I got a conversion rate. Oh no, I reached 5,140 accounts, and 8.5% of them became new followers. So what this means is, with that dashboard, I basically was able to convert almost 500 new followers with this thing. Now, these are real people because you set it up. So these are people that have to go in and actively follow you. So these are, again, real accounts. These aren't bots. These aren't fake traffic. And what you're doing here is you're going out on Instagram and you're trying to tell people who you are. So let's get behind the ethos of what this is. Hi, Brecky. Hi, Yasin. Brecky, we aren't even chatting. So anyway, what is this promotion good for? A lot of times, how do you identify who was not cool for you? We're going to get into that, Oliver. Don't you worry. Let me get behind the strategy here first. So the strategy is, I like to akin it to the actions you take on Instagram are very much like old school marketing. So when you hit like or when you comment on a page, it's very much like hanging a flyer on a door in a neighborhood, right? You got a new pizza joint, you want the people in the neighborhood to know that you got it. You go out door to door and you hang flyers on the door. That's a like. And when you see likes in your side of your account, you immediately go like, hey, sometimes you'll check them out, sometimes you won't, right? Like, it's very iffy. Now, if you comment, that's really kind of like knocking on the door, and you're trying to start a conversation. You may or may not be able to, right? Like that's more of an in-person thing. When you follow somebody, that's very, very much like you're a business, you're going into another business, you're dropping off your business card and you're talking to them, right? And you're really going in there and you're making the effort to show them who you are, as well as showing them responding and showing them love for who they are, right? So, and there's also story views, which is very much just like the like. Because some people care about who's viewing their stories, but top of mind, and then we talked about this before, ubiquity equals legitimacy, right? If you are everywhere, you are more legit. Now, how does this work for my band and turn into something for your business? Remember we said McDonald's is the only fast food chain that researches locations, right? Everybody else puts themselves across the street from McDonald's. So let's use our, Morrison dog food analogy, right? Morrison dog food company. If I was the Morrison dog food company, I would go in here and find out all the other people serving dog food, right? So I'd go and find the pedigrees and the Purinas and all the other like kitschy pet. I would go into my local dog store and I would find all the other pet suppliers, right? Who do they have on the shelf? And I would put all of those accounts into my Instalex, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm liking, commenting, following, and viewing the stories of the people that are engaging with the content of my competitor. So this is very much like if you're going to McDonald's and through the drive-thru and every single person that orders a Big Mac, you hand them a burger, right? Like, hey, great, glad that you're doing this thing. Obviously, you're a burger enjoyer. Here's my product. Boom. Now that is going to get you on the top of mind of everybody that's already self-identified as somebody of value. Your competitors are doing your lead gen for you, and for $13 a month or whatever, you can arbitrage every single one of those motherfuckers. Now, how do you set it up? So this will, by the way, how do I do this also for my band? Is I go in and every show that I play, I go in and I type in all the bands that I'm playing with. So that way, by the time I get to the show, say I got a show, say I'm playing a music festival in August, right? I'm playing a music festival in Idlewild for the, raise money for people that have been devastated by wildfires, yada, 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 parade for me. I'm typing in all of the bands playing that music festival. So by the time that festival starts to promote the show, by the time people start to go to the show and buy tickets, and by the time we get on stage, there'll be hundreds, if not thousands of people in that crowd that already know who we are. They've already made an emotional attachment with my band and made a decision on whether or not they give a shit, right? How do I use this for other people? I've gotten celebrities, right? Like talking heads that are going on, for instance, if I have one that's a writer, right? He's a writer / talking head. Now, when he goes on television to promote his book or give his opinion to people, I know the shows that this person's going on. And I know the other talking heads that are in the competitive space around the same types of topics, right? So I go in and I type in the show that they're airing on and all the other people appearing on the show. So I know that anybody that's talking about that thing that they were just on is going to see my client. So this is something that you can do. Now, if you're a DR brand, again, for Morrison's dog food, you go in and you're typing in all the people, all of your competitors, right? Now, on top of all your competitors, you can also go in and say all the retail outlets that would sell your dog's food, right? And all the people that are selling all your competitors' products. Basically, you are using this as arbitrage against every possible person that might be interested. And in a way that you would think about focusing a Facebook ad, you're doing it this way for free. Boom. And you can also do hashtags. What I found is hashtags aren't as effective as brand accounts. But hey, that's fine, right? So anyway, one of the questions was, how do you know which accounts to follow? So it has a thing here called filter. Now in filter, you can type in things such as gender, age. You can have it skip used accounts so that you know that if you've already touched that account from some other promotion, to not bother with it. That way you're not following and unfollowing the same person over and over again. And they're like, who the fuck are you? I've also got a max followers. So I know that, like, hey, if somebody's got 50,000 followers, they won't give a fuck. I also have max following, meaning that if somebody's following 5,000 people, they won't give a fuck that I'm following them. I also have a minimum post. So I'm only going to engage with people that have posted at least 10 times, right? Now, you've also got other things here. You can skip business accounts. You can skip accounts of the website. You can skip accounts of the phone number. So you can really kind of go in there and see, like, if you're business to business, obviously you want to keep that. Now, I'm using this to find not only fans, but also radio stations, promoters, models, any kind of thing, right? So I need those people. Now, if you're just trying to find consumers, right? Say if you're just selling a product, well then yeah, skip all your business accounts because the business isn't going to buy your product more than likely, right? Especially if you're one-to-one. If the person has a website, they're probably running it as a business that's not their personal account, so skip them. If they have phone numbers, right? Like however this works for you, and you can also check gender. Like if you want to, you can do only men or only women, right? So if you want to only target females that are not a business that have posted at least 100 times, so the really seasoned Instagram followers, they've got less than, they're following less than 500 accounts, and they've got at least, and they've got at least like 10,000 followers. Now you're using this to find yourself micro influencers that you can send your product to inside of an envelope for 50 cents. And they will then turn on to you all of your stuff. That's what I'm doing right now with a lot of suicide girls, models. And I'm sending them care packages, basically stickers and buttons and temporary tattoos. I put it in an envelope. I slap a stamp on it. Stamps 50 cents. Envelopes basically free. The merchandise, so for under $1, I'm sending them stuff, and in turn, they send me photographs that I can use on my social media account, and then I post the photograph, and then I type in the model's name here, so then all the fans of that model are like, hey, who's this band, yada, yada, yada. And let's see, right now, for the last models that I'm posting, I'm getting like between a 4 and a 6% conversion rate, so between 4 and 6 out of 100 people that this thing automatically reaches out to, which is 60 to 80 an hour, I'm getting a new follower, right? And I'm getting a new person engaging with me. So anyway, that is the promotion side of it. Now, there's also a post side here where you can use it to automate your posts. I've never used that. I don't really trust those tools. I think there are better things. Later is probably the best way of doing it. So no need to pay them to do it when Later doesn't prefer. There's a comments section. Now, this is something that you'll see, this is something that you'll see a lot of, and inside, so two things. One, the other part of this is you can do comments. Right now, a lot of times you'll see brands that really bullshit comment, right? And immediately that's a bot, and you immediately turned off. What do I do to combat that is I use emojis with absolutely no contextual information because I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to make another impression. If you look at this at a CPM basis, for $13 a month or whatever it is, right? $15, whatever. I think it's $13.95. For that number, so far this year or whatever, like each month, basically, if you're making 60 impressions an hour, 60 follows, 60 comments, 60 likes. That's 180 touches plus some story views. So let's just call it 200 an hour. 200 an hour times 24 hours, right? Now we're getting into, what's that? 48, 480, 4,800 impressions a day times 30 days. Get you to a CPM rate, cost per thousand impression, that's less than $1. You can't get that kind of CPM rate anywhere. So definitely something to highly, highly recommend. And again, I use the comments. I use just emojis because they generally don't really show any emotion. And you can also blacklist certain words, right? So if somebody's like, "Oh, my dad died today," you're not sitting there like, "Hey, great pic, love your profile, follow us, and we'll talk to you," because that shit will fucking get you burned. Also, you will occasionally run across somebody that sniffs you out. You will occasionally upset somebody. When that happens, block that account, move on. It is scorched fucking earth. You cannot give a fuck about each individual person because you're reaching literally thousands a day. Fuck them if they don't like you. Move along. Let's get to some of your questions here real quick. Let's see. Sammy says, "How do you grow your Facebook band page?" Sammy, don't worry about your Facebook band page. Facebook as a place where people go to discover brands and bands and services at the page level is extinct. If you want to grow any value for your brand or your band or whatever it is that you're doing on Facebook, make a group, a community, and use that. Facebook is focusing on that. Facebook groups and communities are the number one way of getting free impressions. Basically, think of a Facebook group the way that you thought of a page 5 years ago. A page itself is now basically an extinct thing. Don't even worry about it. Push your Instagram content to Facebook and autopilot. Don't worry about it past that. Brecky, look, I'm new here. Hi, nice to see you here. I've never used a bot. They kind of scare me. Doesn't Instagram not like them? Sorry, this is a super noob question. Not a super noob question. I talk to people about this all the time, and we're going to get to that point. Yes, Facebook doesn't like these bots. But one of the ways that Instilex works that other people don't is they don't abuse their API access, right? They've got, what I'm imagining is they've got thousands and thousands of what they call VPN, virtual private networks. So they're basically bouncing your signal all around in your target area. They can basically say, okay, this person's from California. All these actions are happening around somebody inside of California. So they make it basically look like you live where you live and you're taking actions from a similar device all the time, right? So they're just smart in the way that they do it versus many other people that don't, right? A lot of other people are like, oh, I built this machine and I'll do it. And I've seen people try to rebuild this. What happens is they run it from their home computer. And there used to be a bunch of services where you could download it, and I still see them. The problem is it only works when your computer's on. 2, if you don't set up a virtual private network, then eventually your computer is going to be restricted. 3, once Instagram identifies through their automation, I guess I'm getting sick, what the fuck? That you're a fake account running from, or that you're doing illegitimate traffic from a computer that's logged on 24 hours a day, your account's going to get restricted. And then eventually you won't be able to take actions on your phone. And then as you continue to push that up against that API that's bouncing back errors and warnings, your account will get shut down permanently. I've been using Instilex for almost 4 years. Never once had that happen. And I've put through an ungodly amount of accounts through this thing. Not a single issue ever. So I trust this one. And this is why I'm recommending it to you. The other facet of this, before we get into more, is direct. Now, direct allows you to send messages to people. Now, I've got things here. Now, you see this warning? We temporarily stop sending messages to avoid restrictions with Instagram. Instilex knows that it's butting heads up against an API limitation, and instead of hitting that wall so that Instagram responds back saying, hey, fuck you, Instilex is saying, hey, we're about to get told to go fuck ourselves. We're going to leave the room for a while. They're socially aware of what the platform thinks of them. Now, I've got multiple messages in here that are like, hey, what do you think of this adorable new video? and I've sent it to 2,000 people. And here's another one saying, hey, if you want some, what's your favorite track from iTunes, which automatically clicks out to iTunes, which has been sent to 33,000 people. And the way that you can use this a lot is, one, direct message all your new followers, right? And you can set a delay on there and it won't blast them all out, especially if you're getting, several hundred a week, right? And you can set limitations on how many actions you're taking an hour or a day. But in general, when you do the direct messages, you can set it up, right? So there's some limitations, and we'll go into that a little bit, which we don't really need to. They have really great videos. And what I would do is I would recommend to set your limit, set all of your settings at the lowest level. And then every week, go in and ramp up. If it's 20 actions an hour, I think is the lowest thing you can do. The next week, go to 25. Then the week after, go to 30. And you just ramp up. And after 2-3 months, Instagram will see your account as an account that takes more and more actions. And because it sees you do more actions, it's less of a red flag. Now, if you go in there and set it to max right away, Instagram is going to limit your restrictions, because apparently you were somebody that was posting every couple of days, and now you're interacting with hundreds of accounts every single day, every single hour, 24 hours a day. That is an immediate red flag. So start small, work your way up. What is going on over there? My fucking dryer is going crazy. So anyway, there's those restrictions. Now, the beautiful thing here, when you're doing the direct, is that you can set it up so that your messages look a little bit different. Now, this is great because Instagram will say, hey, you've been sending this exact same message, copy and pasting to everybody. It looks like there's something a little fishy. In here, you can set it up so that it knows different iterations of your message to send to people. So you can kind of say, you can open it with a smiley face, you can open it with a heart, or you can open it with like a, hey, how you doing? Whatever. The point is, if you send in multiple versions of the message, then Instagram sees that as multiple messages, and it does keep track of each iteration of each message that you send. Now, if you send 500 of the exact same fucking message to every new follower, you're going to get blocked. If you put in 3 or 4 variants, then it's only 100 to each one, and they won't give a fuck, because there's other people abusing it way more than you. So don't even worry about it. And yes, let's see. So anyway, I'm going to get to the questions here in a minute, because Brecky's answer. Oh, Oliver. Yeah, Oliver's correct. These the VPNs are built up inside the application, so you don't even need to do anything. You pay them $15, they cover your ass for life. It's like the best and cheapest insurance policy ever. All you need to do is sign up on your phone. It's not even an app you download. You just sign up, you log in, and then you crush the world. So anyway, this is one of the greatest fucking tools that I've run into. And again, I charge people money for me to put them, give them my account, give me your account. I will blow it the fuck up, and I'll charge people anywhere from $200 to $1,000 to do this, depending on the person, depending on the demands, right? And it gives you analytics. It says your conversion rate. How many people did you reach, right? So your report, when you send back to a client, is you can say, hey, we've reached, we so far this month, we've, reached X amount of people. And our conversion rate, see, right now my account conversion rate's a 6.9%. So I can say, all right, how many people did it? I can take a screenshot of that number. And then when I update my number, I can see how many more people I reached, and I can get a new conversion rate. And I can say, these are the top accounts, these are the worst accounts. Right? I can be very transparent with people, basically saying I have a growth engine that I have API access where I'm logged into the back end, and I can do all these actions for you, and I can do whatever you want. If you don't want me to follow and unfollow people, you want me to only like and comment, we can still do that. The honest truth is, following and unfollowing doesn't increase or decrease your conversion rate. What it does do is it increases and decreases the amount of accounts that you engage with. So liking and commenting basically has roughly the same engagement rate as following and unfollowing. But following and unfollowing allows you to double the amount of people that you reach. So you can keep a high conversion rate But if you want, and you might have clients that say, well, I've worked with people and they follow and unfollow a bunch of people, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to use my feed and, use my Instagram account. First off, if you want to run a business, you need to not be concerned about using your Instagram account for personal reasons, for like pleasure, right? Anyway, if you deal with somebody that maybe you're trying to do this on the sly or something else, you don't need to do the follow and unfollow. You can just turn that off. There are toggles, right? So you just turn off the follow and unfollow, right? So you can do, if you want to, only the comments, only the likes. I've got accounts where I'm doing literally only likes. I'm doing likes and story views. And when somebody follows that account, it direct messages them with a DM that goes to a Survey Monkey response so somebody can qualify themselves for an offer. There's also ones that I'm working with where it direct messages somebody so that they then receive a message to a Facebook Messenger chat, Messenger bot, and then they get opted into a ManyChat experience. So now I'm using Instagram automation to basically scrape everybody that has pre-qualified themselves as a fan of or somebody engaging with all of my competitors. Then I'm going in engaging with them. When they follow and engage with me, I send them a direct message that opts them into my bot. And on a completely automated basis, I am arbitraging. I'm stealing all the people that have engaged with my competitors and getting them into my ManyChat experience. And I'm reaching out to them for the low price of a fucking monthly subscription, which might be $50 on ManyChat and $15 here. That's a total of $65 to reach literally thousands of people a month to get them to sell things before I spend $1 on an ad. Now you do that, you set up retargeting on some other platforms, and then you're crushing in the profit department. Anyway, that's a more or less completely organic way of using automation and bots to grow the fuck out of your bottom line and to let all your competitors do all the hard work for you. Oh, anybody else feel good? I feel good. A little dirty. I feel good. Man, this is cold brew concentrate. You're supposed to mix this shit with water. I don't. I drink it like fucking coffee. I'm gonna go to the gym after this. I'm hyped. Puppy, it's okay. It's okay. The pup hears dogs outside. Anyway, so that's that. Now, we were getting to get into other things, and I wanted to cover a couple other pieces today. So, anyway, you do that homework. You sign up. You let me know you've got an account, and the first one of you that does that shit, that's in the United States for shipping, pop socket, your choice, whether you want the wooden Facebook like button, the Instagram one, or the Chrome Facebook like button. Direct, cannot purchase directly from Facebook because I have too many and I just never going to use them on my phone because I'm a Steelers fan. And yeah, I have extra. So let me give them to you as an incentive. Plus, if you do your homework, you also get access to any one of the ebooks for free and resources, right? Oliver, great. I'm glad you love it, man. Oliver, do it right. Like, don't pause this video, but immediately after the video, or get on your phone and like do this thing. You can get this thing by the end of this fucking conversation. All right. Jackie, nice to see you. Raul, nice to see you. Shruti, Sammy, Yasin. Oh, Derek. I hope Derek is still around. I can't tell who is still in the thing, which is weird. It should tell me who's still here, but whatever. Next piece. I'm getting blown up already from people trying to take advantage of this. So, do your homework, folks. Do your homework and get the rewards. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, moving forward. Transition to CBO. This is one of the things I've seen a lot of people with, and it's a big topic of conversation in direct messages, a lot of the one-on-ones I'm doing with everything else. So, what I want to tell you is, transition to CBO. CBO is going to be the law of the land by September. If you're not planned for it, if you're not fully engaged with it, it will happen overnight to your account and you are going to eat shit. Now, a lot of people's response to that has been, holy fuck, let me turn all my accounts into CBO. And then it takes a shit. Because the honest truth is, the way that you're thinking about stuff, Oliver, you live in London town. It'll cost me like $15 to send this thing to you there. So I'm sorry, man. But I'll do the thing and I'll give you all the ebooks, okay? Like I'll give you the access to all the stuff on the Patreon. And if you're already a Patreon member, we'll figure it out, Oliver. You do your homework, I'm gonna make it fucking worth your while. All right. And you should join the Patreon, why not? Yeah. So moving forward. Maybe that's what I'll do. For all of you that are outside that do your homework, I can give you a discount link to join the Patreon. How does that sound? Let me know. All right, do your homework and tell me whether or not you want a pop socket, you want an ebook, or you want a discount link into the Patreon. Done. Decision made. Moving forward. Transition into CBO. So a lot of people are doing it night and day, flipping the switch. And I want to really stress against that because your content probably isn't made to really take advantage of it. Your bidding strategies and the way you're using the platform aren't really there. And the honest truth is it's the biggest change inside of Facebook since the conversion objective. So it will take a bit of transition. So what I would say is, what I would love for you to do, and we did this before with the Engaged Shoppers test, right? So what I would do is take your campaign that's really, really working right now, duplicate that campaign, and cut your budget in half, okay? For the duplicate. So for your duplicate, run your duplicate as a CBO campaign. Click that campaign budget optimization. And then where you have your daily budgets set, say your daily budget is $50. And now you cut your thing in half, so theoretically your daily budget should only be $25. What I want you to do then is set inside of CBO, you can set campaign spend limits or ad set spend limits for the day, minimum and maximum. What I want you to do is take your minimum spend limit and make it 80% of what your daily budget was before, right? So say your daily budget was 50 and you duplicated your campaign, you cut your budget in half, right? So before your daily, in non-CBO, your daily budget was 50. In your duplicate that's running as CBO, now it's 25. It would be 25. Now in CBO, what I want you to do is set that to 20. And the idea is you're going to force Facebook to spend $20 a day there, but it doesn't have to, but it has to spend at least that much. It could spend more. And the net effect of it is you want to tell Facebook, you want to guide 80% of the spend to where you normally would send your daily budgets. And let the other 20% of the spend inside of that campaign go wherever Facebook feels like it can win. Now, what this is going to do is, one, it's going to closely match your CBO to the way that your non-CBO campaign, the diversification of your funds, right? And where you're investing. So it's not going to let CBO run away with something where you are getting wins at 50 and Facebook thinks, well, let me spend 500. You're not going to deal with that problem. Also, it's going to allow the CBO to basically run day one off of a lot of the learnings that you've already built. You want to use the same post IDs and the same audiences, literally hit duplicate. And that way, you're using existing IDs, you're using existing audiences, you've already set up the way the budgets are running. And I want you to run that and just see how that pans against your other campaign. Now, it's probably going to do really well right away. After 7 to 10 days, it's going to, 4 to 10 days, it's going to take a hit. And then it's going to start to bounce back. Now, that bounce back level may or may not be better than the original one, but hopefully your week over week performance is really stable. And that's what you really want to look for is CBO gives you stability. And you're going to know that it's stable because you've been doing your Scrum Doc, which we've gone over. And if you don't know how to do it, join the Patreon, download the ebook on how to do it. And I've got dummied up information, step-by-step process with all of the formulas you need to calculate everything automatically. And then last week's live showed you the process day to day to update those numbers. So you're going to be able to see side by side how does one do against the other. And you don't want to go day by day performance. You need to look at no less than 3 days, but if you can, week over week trends. How did the last 7 days here compare to the last 7 days here? When the CBO is more stable and does better, Let's say this one's the CBO, this one's the old school one. We'll call it, this one's the 2000 and late version. This one's CBO. To quote the great warrior princess, Fergie. 2000 and late versus CBO. When your CBO becomes more stable than your 2000 and late, and the performance of your CBO outperforms your 2000 and late, start transitioning some of your budget from your 2000 and late to your CBO campaign. Say you're spending, for easy math, $100, right? Hopefully you're spending more, but whatever. And this one's at 100 and this one's at 50, right? And now they're neck and neck. If they're even neck and neck, take $10 from here and drop it over here. So this is now spending 90 total daily budget. This one's got 60. And you start to creep up your minimum spends to match this, right? Eventually what will happen is your CBO campaign will take all of the spend from your 2000 and late campaign, and then you're able to scale this one even more. And the way you're going to scale that CBO is, one, obviously adding in more money to your campaign daily budget, but adjusting the minimums the way you would normally say your ad set budget. But your minimums are going to always add up to roughly 80% of your total campaign daily budget. It can't ever exceed it because, well, it can't. Facebook won't let you. But you want those minimums to allow Facebook to make decisions for you and to use the CBO to optimize so that it's finding incrementality, right? It's finding that 10 to 20% of your budget that you haven't allotted for. You just say, hey, spend $100 a day. I know where I want to spend at least 80. Spend that other 20 where you think is best. Over time, it's going to learn where to spend that money. And then you just throw more, you raise your minimums as you raise your overall daily budget, and then you end up scaling the campaign. And you've done it in a way that didn't shit the bed for you right away. And you've done it in a way that allows the CBO campaign to start small and to scale up. And you've already taught yourself how to scale the campaign, and you've built in your own learnings into the way that CBO campaign was built. And then you can start getting into building, creative testing and bucket-based CBO and all these other things we've been talking about, but you've already transitioned your accounts one to the other. Now, I would do this at a prospecting level. The retargeting CBO stuff, I'm still working on it. But I do have something that's working. So hopefully in the next month, I'll be able to really tell you the CBO for retargeting, which will probably come into a new ebook. By the way, I'm going to do a new ebook this week. We'll be going out, and it'll be just standards of practice, right? Sexy ethos type shit. And just how to think of the way as a marketer. Instead of such a tactical thing, I want to get a bit higher level. So all of that's going into an ebook, which will be released this week, I promise. Maybe even today, if I have my fucking time on. But we'll see what's going on. I got to hit the gym because I've been going to get ice cream pies, and I went on that cruise, and I got to look sexy for the music festival stuff. So we'll see what happens. Lastly, third-party platforms that I really, really want to suggest to you. Now, these are platforms, I call them third-party because they're not major players. These aren't your Snapchats, your Pinterest, your Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. Now, these are other things which kind of work maybe more in an affiliate space, but they're not nearly as tricky. They're easy things for you to adopt, but you only have to pay if you win, and ways of going about that. There are two tools that I want you to check out, or that I highly recommend. One of them is called Tapjoy. Tapjoy allows you to place ads inside of games, right? So games on your phone. We've all seen it where like, hey, watch this video and get an extra 50 coins, something like that. Tapjoy is the best one. And the reason I really like it, and I've been seeing success now for weeks with it, is that you only pay when somebody buys. Essentially what you're doing is you're setting a commission per sale, right? So instead of setting a bid in the marketplace on Facebook ads, you're saying, hey, if you make a sale, I'll give you $50, right? Or I'll give you 10 or whatever it is, right? So it's showing your video or your carousel. It works very much like a DPA ad. You can have a carousel image or you can have a video, and I recommend doing both. Um, but you only pay when somebody makes a purchase, which means you can be on it all day, which means you can start it right now and you only pay when you make money. So say your product costs $50. You can set it to say, I'll pay you $40 for every sale. And then no matter what, anytime you get charged by that platform, it's $10 that you make, right? So you get a 20%, 25% profit margin on it, no matter what, every single time. So I highly recommend it. It's really, really easy to integrate. The platform is really simple. And there's a bid amount, and the bid is basically just what you pay when you make a conversion. I track this inside of my tracker doc, just like I would anything else. You evaluate it like you would any other platform, any other campaign. But the beauty of it is that you only pay when you make money. You're basically saying, hey, every time you hand me a $50 bill, I'll give you $40. So basically, they only knock your door when they made you $10. This is a salesman that works commission only, and you only pay profit, right? It only makes you money, and it's something that can run in the background. You don't really need to monitor. What I would do is I would put your profit margin, maybe if it's $50 what you're selling a thing for, go up with a $25 thing, right? And then see if you make a sale every couple of days. And if you can, and it's going well for you, increase your bids, right? So increase saying, hey, I'll pay you $30 for it, which means hopefully you're going to see more clicks and you're going to see more sales. And you just ramp it up. I mean, honestly, I would run this thing until it breaks even, right? Like if you need to sell your $50 product, say $50 is what you need to sell the thing for, put $50 into the thing. Because for everybody that doesn't convert right away, you will get hundreds of clicks to your website, which drive up your retargeting, right? It drives up your add to carts. It drives up your website visits, and it drives up your Google branded search, which we set up last week so that you're getting more money, right? So it's getting hundreds or thousands of more people into your ecosystem every day or every week, depending on how much you're spending. Now, there's aren't always quality. This is quantity over quality. So you will get shit in your signal, right? You will add noise to your overall level. But hopefully, and this is where the mix comes in, is that you're able to drive a bit more volume to your target market, right? And you're able to drive more volume into your retargeting pools. And the larger the pools are, the cheaper it costs you to reach them. Because remember, larger audience, cheaper CPM. So your retargeting becomes more efficient because it's just cheaper to do business, right? The thing on the shelf went from $10 a thing to like $9 a thing. The thing on the shelf here being 1,000 impressions. Maybe it costs you $20 to reach 1,000 people. Now it only costs you 18, which means you make $2 more on every sale. No matter what, you made an extra $2 profit. You see where I'm going with this? So the idea is, this is a really, really cheap and easy way to drive more traffic to your site that pays for itself. And if it doesn't work, you don't lose money because you only pay when you make a conversion. This is purely CPA, commission-based, profit-generating device. Which means, for all you keeping score at home in the home game, if you want to run only InstaLex and ManyChat and run ads only on your cart abandoners on Facebook and Google branded search, and you run things like Tapjoy, you run a business that only makes money because it doesn't cost you anything. All your profit goes into generating more income. And you only have to pay money on weekly subscriptions or monthly subscriptions for your ManyChat and your InstaLex. And you're only paying ads that give you a profit because hopefully your retargeting gets you maybe a 1.5 or a 2x on Facebook ads, right? And the only way somebody becomes eligible for those things is by Tapjoy, which pays for itself, and bots. So now you have a store that at a very root level isn't necessarily scalable, but that is a profit generating machine. All it does is print money. And you can use those profits to test CBO campaigns inside of prospecting to scale your store. Now, this is autopilot business generation. That's all you're doing right out of the bat. So that's something I wanted you to check out. Another one that I've been looking at, I just had a great call with them over the weekend. It's called Clickly. It works the same, works up the same business model. You only pay when you make a sale. However, Clickly is more of like a rich media banner ad. So it looks very much like a banner ad on a website. And they do a lot of things on People and TMZ and ESPN. So they're on websites. And it pulls in from your Shopify feed. It shows the products that you have. It shows the product and the description, very much like a DPA ad or PLA for you Google folks. Very much that, but it shows it on the website. And somebody can enter their credit card information and buy directly from the ad unit on a web page. So again, this is another way of incremental autopilot sales. The whole point of today's conversation is, how do you do basically no work to make a shit ton more money? And then how do you use the profit from that to learn to scale your business using Facebook's new standard of practice? And that's what we covered in the last hour. And if you do just the things that we talked about in this last hour, you will grow the size of your business, and over time, you're going to grow your volume of sales day over day, and you're going to grow your profit margin, and you can use that to fund your prospecting efforts inside of CBO, and you can lose money there because you're picking them up on Google and you're picking them up on Facebook retargeting, and you don't need to make money on it because say you make $20 a day. Let's use simple math, right? Say you make $20 a day from these resources. Spend 10 of it on Facebook prospecting. You can lose all 10 of those dollars and you're still in the profit. But if you make 50 cents back on that $10 and it fuels more retargeting, eventually you're going to get good so that you're breaking even on that. Maybe even making a profit on it. And you can ramp up your spend there so that you're getting more and more business. So today, this live in the last hour is basically how to start how you can get a business to be self-sustaining from the ground up, day one, and eventually scale it. This is easy shit. This is really, really easy shit. Now, some of it's complex and it might be overblowing your mind, but this is really easy shit. This is a way, if you do just Instalex, DPA ads, Tapjoy, Clickly, and mess around a little bit using your profit margin inside of CBO, in 6 months, your business is going to be doing far more than it is today. And if you sell that as a resource to other customers, you can take a profit margin on it and you can learn how to do this faster and get paid for it and use some of that profit to offset your costs to get your own business up and running. Clickly starts with a K. So it's Clickly, Klickly, something like that. Anyway, they're really cool. So that's kind of what I'd like to give to you today. That's basically it. And I do owe a couple of things. I'm going to comment in here. Yet last week I was so fucking out of it. But I'm going to announce next week the winner for the one-on-one, and then we're going to start from scratch. It's the end of the month, so I'm not even going to try to get into everything else. And I apologize to the other folks about the one-on-ones, the raffle stuff. We're going to just start from scratch next week and announce a winner and go from there. So anyway, do your homework this week. The first one to do it gets a free pop socket. If you don't want the pop socket, you can get a discount link to the Patreon. And if you don't want that, well, let me know what I can do to make it worth your while. Maybe we'll do 50% off a one-on-one or something along those lines. So anyway, love you guys. Let me see any other questions here on the side. We're coming up on an hour. Man, we crushed it in 1 hour. If you just watch this thing, I know this is the end of the video, and I'm just going to tap my fucking back on it, whatever, right? In 1 hour, we basically walked over how to use automation to completely autopilot profit margin, mailbox money for doing no fucking work. Jesus Christ, I should start going into business for myself. I always fail when I run my own businesses. I can make a shit ton of money for other people, but I'm terrible at it for myself. I don't know why. Let's see, any other questions? Brecky says, I'm in Canada. It's a discount for Patreon. Sounds bueno. Brecky, DM me, you signing up for Instalex and giving it a shot, just a screenshot of it, and I will send you a discount link for the Patreon. All right. What sort of products do you suggest are selling that are willing to provide 0.75% price point to the advertiser? Oliver, I can't really tell you about products. I'm not a product guy. I'm a make the fuck out of you've got a decent business model. I'm an 10x your business guy. I'm terrible at picking products though. Nobody wants to buy the shit that I'm interested in. And the shit that I'm interested in is overpriced garbage that's vintage and whatnot. I'm a musician, okay? I'm a guy that learned how to make money because I didn't have a real job, because I was playing rock and roll all the time. Eventually got good enough at shameless self-promotion and making, squeaking $5-10 out of people that rich people pay me to make money for them. I don't know how the hell I landed here, but I can't tell you products. That's much, much more. Oliver, what I would recommend is find a community member named Court, call him, and pay him for a one-on-one. If you pay him a couple $100, whatever it is, for a one-on-one session, I guarantee you he'll be able to walk you through how building a brand. He's phenomenal at it. What else do we have? Yeah, I guess that's it. Oliver, yeah, you got it. All right, great, everybody. I love you. I'll see you later from Morrison and I in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Get these the fuck out of my house. See you guys later. Bye.